All right, everyone, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to be looking at a crisis that's unfolding right now in our own communities, on our campuses. We are talking about the battle for the hearts and minds of Nigeria's youth. And we're going to look at it through the lens of some really groundbreaking local research on substance abuse and really ask ourselves, what does this mean for your future ministry?
To really get a sense of the scale of this thing, I want you to just look at this number, 6 million. According to the research we're about to unpack, in northwest Nigeria alone, over 6 million bottles of codeine are sold and consumed every single day. This isn't some distant problem, people. This is a flood, and it is right at our doorstep.
So here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to face the reality of this crisis head on. Then we'll dig into the specific research that's guiding our conversation. We're going to explore the pathways that lead a young person into addiction, but, and this is the important part, we will also uncover the pathways to freedom. And finally, we'll bring it all home and talk about what this means for you, for your ministry's mandate.
So let's get into it. Part 1, a crisis on our doorstep. It is so important that we don't see this as just another social issue on the news. No, this is a spiritual battle, a pastoral challenge that you will encounter in the very communities God is calling you to serve.
Now, the foundation for everything we're talking about is a really critical study by a researcher named Iorfa and his team at the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. And you know what makes this so powerful? This isn't some study from America or Europe. This is a Nigerian study looking at the specific factors affecting young Nigerians right here, right now.
So what did they do? Well, the researchers looked at hundreds of students from secondary school all the way through university to figure out what really predicts substance abuse. They didn't just look for the bad stuff, the risk factors. They also searched for the protective factors. And their whole investigation really zeroed in on these 4 key ideas, which we're about to unpack: psychoticism, social alienation, thriving, and religious commitment. Let's start with the tough part first. The findings identified 2 major psychological highways, if you will, that lead young people straight toward addiction. These are the vulnerabilities we need to understand. Okay, so the first risk factor is a personality trait they call psychoticism. Now, that's a heavy word, but don't get thrown off. This isn't about psychosis or being crazy. It's describing a pattern of behavior: aggressiveness, hostility, impulsivity, just constant risk-taking. It's that spirit of rebellion, a total disregard for the consequences.
And the data backs this up with a hard number. For every single step up in these psychopathicism traits, the study found that substance abuse goes up by 0.21 units. It's not just a theory, it's a clear, measurable connection. That personality pattern is a direct path towards drugs. Now, this second pathway, this is the one that should really get our attention as future ministers. It's called social alienation. We're talking about that deep, gut-wrenching feeling of being isolated, detached, invisible. It's the sense that you just don't belong anywhere. In our language, it is a profound, desperate need for true fellowship, for koinonia. And just look at the number here. For every unit increase in those feelings of alienation, substance abuse jumps by 0.29. Think about that for a second. Feeling disconnected from a community is an even stronger predictor of drug use than that risk-taking personality we just saw. Being alone is a powerful, dangerous force. But thank God, the research does not leave us there in the dark. It also shines a very bright light on the pathways to freedom. The study found 2 incredibly powerful shields that can guard our youth against this pull. Let's look at those now. The first protective factor is what the psychologists call thriving. And just read that definition: a state of positive psychological health, well-being, happiness, a sense of purpose and meaning. Doesn't that sound familiar? I mean, come on, that is the abundant life that Jesus talked about. It's not just about avoiding bad things, it's about pursuing a life that is full of meaning. And this second one, this one speaks directly to the heart of our calling: religious commitment. And the researchers are crystal clear. This isn't just about saying you believe in God. It's about how much a person actively sticks to their beliefs and uses them to guide their everyday life. It is faith in action. So right here, this slide basically shows you the whole spiritual tug-of-war. On one side, you have these risk factors, rebellion and loneliness, pulling young people toward drugs. But on the other side, you have these 2 massive protective factors: a purpose-filled life and a living, active faith, pulling them toward wholeness. This is the battleground. Now, this is it. This is maybe the single most powerful number in this entire study for us in this room.
For every 1 unit increase in that active daily religious commitment, substance abuse decreases by a massive 0.37 units. That is the strongest factor in the entire study. This is hard data affirming a spiritual truth we've always known. A genuine, practiced relationship with God is the most powerful shield we can possibly offer our young people. So, all of this incredible research leads us right here to our final and I think most important section, your ministry's mandate. How do we take this data off the page and turn it into real-world ministry that changes lives? The researchers themselves actually point us in the right direction. Just listen to this quote from their conclusion. They say society needs to strive for a more collective attitude that broods a sense of belonging. What are they describing? They are describing the church. They are describing exactly what the body of Christ is called to be. And the need for this kind of community is unbelievably urgent. Just look at this list from the study. We're not just talking about weed anymore. Young people are sniffing soak away, the fumes from septic tanks. They're drinking something called gutter water, a horrible mix of codeine and tramadol. The sheer desperation this reveals is staggering. So what's our mandate? Well, it can be built on 4 pillars, taken directly from this research. Number 1, we have to actively fight alienation. We must be intentional about creating churches where nobody feels invisible. 2, we must foster thriving. Our youth ministries have to be about helping young people find their God-given purpose. 3, we must deepen commitment. We have to disciple them past simple belief into a faith that works Monday through Saturday. And 4, we must offer refuge. Our churches have to be a true sanctuary, especially for those vulnerable students the study mentioned. So here's the bottom line. The data is clear. It tells a story that we, the church, are uniquely equipped to bring to life. A deep, personal relationship with God that's lived out in the middle of a strong, loving community, that is a powerful, powerful shield against all the forces pulling our youth into darkness. So I'm going to leave you with this question. This isn't just information for a test. It's a call to action for your life. Knowing what you now know from the data, how are you going to build a church that is a true refuge for the alienated and a garden where the thriving can actually grow? The battle is real, but now you have a clearer mandate than ever before.